Hello, my peeps. What is up? Thank you so much for tuning back in. If you're watching this, listening to this, however you're intaking this episode, but I really do appreciate you guys tuning in, tuning back in. You know what I'm saying? So, how are you guys? How are you guys feeling? What are you guys up to? I really appreciate you guys. I feel like this is too high. I really appreciate you guys taking the time and tuning into my podcast, into this episode. Really appreciate you, my peeps. So, we're just speaking good vibes, you know what I'm saying? It's all good vibes here. We are spreading good vibes, you know what I'm saying? If you're listening to this, share with a friend, share with a family member or something, you know what I'm saying? We just want to spread the good vibes. So for today's, did you guys see that the light just turned off? But I still think like it's kind of dark. Let me go get another light. Hold on. Okay, I got the light back on. But yes, anywho, welcome. If you're new, welcome to Lis Talks Vibes. It's not just the talk, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole vibe. And I am your girl Liz. So for today, I wanted to talk about this. I'm gonna speak on forgiving. You know what I'm saying? It's good to forgive. And I saw this, was it like a quote? I don't remember the exact words. I saw on somebody that I follow on Instagram. She's like a health coach. She posted it on her story, and I don't remember the exact words, but that has just stuck onto me these couple of days. It was just a couple of days ago that she posted it. And I don't remember. I don't remember my voice. I don't remember the exact words, but what I do remember from it was about forgiving, to forgive others, and it said, forgive those that didn't love you because it taught you self-love. And then it also said, forgive those that didn't care for you because it taught you self-care. And that, I should have saved it, but I didn't. But that has just stuck onto me since I saw it. Because forgiving it's hard. Forgiving is kind of hard. And I used to be like a very angry person, and somewhat resentful. And it was hard for me to forgive. And, I learned that you want to forgive others, not for them, not to forgive them. And if it was a friend or something, forgive them and then become friends again or something like that, squashing some beef or whatever. But forgive others for you. You know what I'm saying? Forgive them for your peace, for your peace of mind, for, And this just it opened my mind even more on this, I went then I started I was reflecting and really thinking of my times, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes things come up, or and you're like, damn, you just start thinking whatever, but you just have to let it go. That's another thing of forgiving, letting it go. And I was like, I never thought about it like this. I just thought, forgive others for me, which I learned. I forgave, and they don't have to come up to you and literally apologize, You don't need no apology or anything if you just stop talking or whatever, whatever the case was, you just like forgive them, you know? That's like a way that I did it was just like when I was meditating and, I was like, on the issue or just like, sitting there by myself, reflecting on the issue, whatever, and just forgiving them and letting them go, letting it all go. And seeing that quote, I was like, it made me think about what I learned, like going back and kind of reflecting on what I learned through forgiving them, and it's like, dang, dude, like that is so true. Like, forgive those that didn't love you because it does teach you self love. It taught me self love, If all of the things didn't happen, I never like to regret anything. Everything happened for a reason. Everything that has happened that I've went through has made me become who I am right now. If I didn't go through any of these experiences or anything like that, like I also wouldn't be here, you know what I'm saying? Speaking the good vibes to you guys and speaking on my experiences, on what I've learned, on my opinions. So that just like, I was like, wow, dude, like, and I wanted to share that with you guys because, those that I thought, oh, really loved me and whatever, like friends or even family, they weren't the friends, that I thought they were. They didn't give me like that love back that I gave them. And sometimes you do think like, oh, like you might think it gets lonely if you don't have any friends or anybody around you. Or, you just might think like, damn, like only if we were still friends or something like that. But no, like think about it like that. Like them not loving you taught you self. It taught me self love. It taught me that. It made me give me the love that I never gave myself. I didn't think about self love before. I thought like, love is getting love from another person, whether it was a friend or whatever. But love is within you. Like self love is it. Like if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And that's really what it teaches you. It taught me to be the love of my life, to give me all that love that I never had before, And same with caring. Those that didn't care for you taught you self-care, and self-care is not getting your nails done, like I mentioned before, getting your hair done, going and get a massage. Like we think these things are like self-care, just one day a week or one day a month having a self-care day, go getting your nails done and all that stuff. But that's just trying, trying to make yourself look good from the outside. But self-care is like within, like are you checking up on yourself daily? It's all about your daily choices. What you choose to eat is self-care. Are you going to go for the junk food, or are you going to go for your fruits and vegetables? Are you going to go for a box of chocolates or some bananas or something? Are you going to go for your coffee or your juice? I'm going to go for my juice. You know what I'm saying? And that's all self-care. If they weren't there for you, they didn't care for you, didn't support you, then you do that. You give all that to yourself. Support yourself. Be there for you. Checking up on you. Seeing how you are internally. How are you feeling? What are your current thoughts? Why are you having those current thoughts? journaling, meditating, that's all self-care, you know? And dude, when I read that quote, I was like, I just have to share it. Like, I just have to share it because, oh, dude, I should have saved it, but I didn't. But, like, I mean, in general, just forgiving others, it's just so relieving. And it's important because when you forgive others, that, like I said, that's for your peace, for your peace. Do it for you, not for them, not for anybody else because somebody's telling you to forgive them. Do it for you. No matter how. Oh my god, I have Chata right here with me. She's falling. You want to speak some vibes? But yeah, do it for you. Do it for your peace of mind, you know, because like I was saying, no matter how bad it was, because you just want to let go. You just want to let go of all of that, especially if you're just like done with that situation or that certain individual. You just want to let them go, and let everything go, all the attachments you had, you know what I'm saying? Letting it all go because you want to free yourself from that. Sometimes you just get too stuck onto it, Like if they did something really bad to you, you just keep thinking about it and thinking about it. And it's just all in your head. And that energy, it just like consumes you, And you're just like stuck onto that. And you then might start thinking like, oh, like why did they do it? Why did this happen? Why did it have to happen to me? Everything happens for a reason. Like I said, if they weren't loving you or caring for you or anything, then that teaches you something. Always learn from that experience. Even if you're going through something right now, if they didn't love you or they, for some reason or something, think that something better is going to come. And don't think that somebody else is going to love you. Don't seek for love from somebody else. Seek within, give yourself that love. Self-love, you guys, it's it. I'm literally all about self-love. And when I'm telling you guys, when I saw this quote, I was like, dude, it just makes sense, It makes total sense. And because, if that person didn't love you, that's because they didn't love themselves, Because, again, when you don't love yourself, if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else, Same with caring. If they can't care, they didn't care for you, they didn't give a fuck about them, So if you're going through a situation like that, give yourself that love. Love yourself like you never have before, Care for you. Loving yourself, it's doing, just, it's caring for you, It's loving you. It's doing stuff that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of seeking all of that from others, expecting somebody to come and love you, to come and to care for you, to check up on you. You check up on yourself. See how you're feeling, But so what was I saying? Oh, forgiving like others and stuff. So yeah, you want to forgive, for you, because like I was saying, if you just get like, you start thinking of why, like why did it happen or why did it happen to me? But learn from it. Learn from that experience and always look at the bright side. Like I said, like if they weren't loving you, then love yourself. If because you you don't want to be thinking about all that stuff. Then thinking, oh, but just if they didn't do this, you know, or you just start playing all these scenarios in your head, like what could have been, or like just 5 different scenarios of what could have happened, if they didn't do this or that, or like if it was a friend, if this didn't happen, if they didn't do this, you guys still could have been friends, but it just wasn't meant to be, you know and you just want to let go of that. You don't want to have all those scenarios and just be stuck all up on it, because I kind of, there wasn't some situations where I did go through that. I was just like, I'm telling you, I was like a very mad person before, kind of angry, and sometimes it gets to the point where you want like revenge or something, I've never gotten to like that point, but there is some people that are like that. I've seen it, and they just like want to get back to that person, if like there's some people, like somebody cheated on them, so then they're gonna go out there and cheat on them as well, and it's like, no, like you don't want to do that, like cheating is a pretty big deal, but forgive them, and then you just learn from that experience. Love yourself. And I'm all about just like if don't like just keep repeating that, like forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. Learn from that experience. Acknowledge all that happened, sit down with yourself and be like, okay, this happened, how can I prevent it again? That's when you should start building boundaries. What are your standards? You know what I'm saying? And loving yourself. And maybe it's the environment you're in, the people you're kicking it with. Who are you surrounding yourself with? That has a huge part, because you don't want to be going through similar situations again, and again and again, so just learn from them, learn from those experiences. And like I was saying, just freeing. You don't want no attachments, and well, like I was saying, then like building resentment. Yeah, resentment and just anger. Like then you start getting angry towards that person. And I'm not saying don't feel angry. Like we all experience some type of angriness. We might get mad for something, and feel it, but don't act on it. Like that's when like people then like want revenge because they're acting on it immediately. No, don't act on it. Feel it, and then just forgive them. Forgive them and let it go. Let them go for you, because you don't want to be stuck on that person or situation or anything. Forgiving them is then just letting it go. Just letting it go. Shit, you might start thinking about, some type of revenge or like something, or like, like whatever, like fuck this person or whatever. But whatever it is, dude, whatever it is, just let it go. Like, just let it go. And it's going to be like such a huge relief. And it's just going to bring you peace, because you don't want to, you don't want to be angry. You don't want to be mad. You don't want to be negative. You want to remain positive and always think that something better something better is always going to come. You know what I'm saying? Because playing all those scenarios in your head, thinking of what could have been, this could have been, whatever, that's just hurting you. That's hurting yourself even more. Anger is just gonna start building up and you don't want to hurt yourself. You want to love yourself. and do it for you, you know? That's loving yourself. That's like the first step, because you're just letting it go and choosing you, choosing your happiness, and choosing your peace. Because that really is hurting yourself. Just staying stuck onto that, you know? And don't, like I said, always do it for you. Don't think like, oh, you're doing it for them, you know? And a lot of the times, others, oh my gosh, she wants to go outside. Give me 1 second, my peeps. Go. 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 Do you want to go outside or no? She is totally playing with me. You're playing with me, Chata. But, shit. See? I forgot, like, my train of thought. But forgiving, oh, yeah. Most of the time, people are not going to apologize because people don't like to take accountability. They don't want to say that they were wrong, you know? And they're not gonna come forward, you know? And that's from experience, and that's because it is a lot, you know? I mean, even with me, like, it took me a while to also, you know, take accountability for my actions. And as being like the person on the other end as well, like me, like, how would I say, like me apologizing, you know, like to the other person, you know, it's okay if, like, you know, they forgive you, whatever, but sometimes the things just won't go back to how it is, you know, because accountability is a lot, but it's still like a great lesson, because then you're learning from your actions, you know, like taking accountability is huge, you know. And of course, like before too, well, this was, you know, back in the days, I didn't want to forget. No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to apologize, because I'm telling you guys, that's a lot, you know? And that's just like seeing both sides. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, when I didn't want to apologize, that's just because, you know, like it takes a lot to come forward and to admit that you were in the wrong, you know? And like me being like the person to forgive, you know, I appreciate the apology. I appreciate the apology, but it's just like I said, even from like that end, the forgiving end, things just ain't gonna be the same, you know? Like if it's with a friend or something, when you forgive, you don't have to be friends again, you know? You don't have to go back to how things were. Because if they did something wrong, like, yeah, you're forgiving them, you know, you're letting it go, and you just might let go. Oh my god, you're playing me. She is playing me. You guys. Why are you playing me? Huh? Anywho. So yeah, like, you don't have, like, if you forgive, you don't have to go, you know, back to how things were. Because if they like disrespected one of your boundaries, or, you know, like, there's something that just broke that trust between you guys. That's a lot. Like, I know if you do something where I like can't trust you no more, I like can't trust you no more. Yeah, I forgive you, but that's one thing. Like, that's a whole different thing, forgiving and trusting. Like, if you forgive them, you're letting it go, it's cool, but trusting, then it's like, nah, dude, like, and oh, I was talking about, like, apologizing and whatever too. um you know and if you are in the wrong too, you guys, apologize. Just apologize. And if they forgive you or not, at least you're apologizing too. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, don't expect things to go back to how they were. And you took accountability and you learned from your mistake as well, from whatever you did, and just move on, but also forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was going to get into. If you, as being the apologizer, if you don't get that forgiveness, or even if you do, if you don't, it might feel bad. You might feel bad and be like, like, they're never going to forgive me, which, I mean, they should, because just, like I said, letting it go and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And it's even better when somebody does come up to you and apologizes, because it feels good, and it's like you guys are cool. Not cool, but it's like things are straight, there ain't no like awkwardness, or it's just like things ended good, but as the apologizer, I don't know if that's how you say it. But if you are the one apologizing and say they didn't forgive you, it's okay, you forgive yourself though. You took accountability. You are going, hopefully you learn from whatever you did, and you forgive yourself, because you also don't want to hate yourself, and you don't want to just think, start also with all these scenarios in your head and stuff like that, because taking accountability is a lot. And for whatever you did, forgive yourself, because it's okay. I mean, things do happen. We do some mistakes, but forgive yourself. It's okay. Forgive yourself and learn through that experience. Don't just keep doing it again either. Like, when you truly forgive yourself, truly learn from that experience. What did you do wrong? How are you not going to do it again? With whatever the case may be. But even if they do apologize, you still might feel bad and be like, oh, if it was a friend or whatever. But if I didn't do it, if just it happened like this and that, just let it go. Forgive yourself and let it go, But even if you didn't do anything, like, it took me a lot to forgive myself from past things that I've done, For me, it took me a lot to forgive others and to forgive myself. With forgiving others, I'm telling you guys, I sat down with myself, and because I was a really angry person, you guys. I was just mad all the time, and people doing things to me just heated me. It just heated me, and it made me like kind of hate them, and just be like, why the fuck would they do this? Like, I was such a nice person, this and that. But that's another thing, like, don't, however you are, if you're giving out love or whatever, don't expect like that same love. Whatever which you give out, you just want to be positive and spread love all the time, and you will get that back one way or another. And that was like my thing. Like, if I gave out that, it's like I expected the same. And that was another thing, like, and I expected an apology, but like I'm telling you guys, don't really ever expect one, because it most of the time it doesn't come, because I'm telling you, a lot of people don't like to take accountability and say that they were in the wrong. So that's kind of what I expected. And I expected it for a while, and then you might start thinking like, oh, like, did I do something? Like, was it my fault? That's how I was. I started thinking, and I was like, should I go and apologize? But it's like, no, like, don't think like that. Like, if they did something wrong, if you see it as wrong, it's wrong, Because, I mean, you might see it as wrong, but they didn't, So that's another thing, too, why they might not apologize, because they didn't think they're wrong. But whatever the case, just I sat myself down and I was like, okay, like, this happened, this happened, this happened. Like, that was wrong to me, And I need to stop waiting for the apology. Like, it's not going to come. And just forgive them. Forgive them and move on. And that, dude, forgiving, it takes a lot, you guys. But that is the first step. Forgiving them for you. That will bring you so much peace. So much peace. And it's growth. That's you growing as a person, you know what I'm saying? Just letting all of that go. All the attachments. But another huge thing was forgiving myself. And that is hard. Because, like I said, I don't do anything to people. Like, I'm a loyal, like I'm telling you guys, I'm the bestest friend to myself, And but it was things that, I mean, okay, no, I take that back. Well, I mean, before, like I'm telling you guys, I was, drinking and doing drugs a lot. And the not sober Liz would do things to people or say things, which then when I was sober, like the next day, I totally regret it. Because that just, it wasn't me, So it was like those times when I was like, fuck. Like, why did I do that? And like, well, like, why did I say that? And then, like, even like there was times when like I would go back and I'd be like, fuck, dude, like, or like just embarrassing things I would do to myself, when I was hella on one. But you have to just let it go. Like, it happened, because you don't want to stay living in the past. You don't want to keep thinking about the past. You want to stay present as well. And that's another thing when forgiving. You're just letting it all go, letting go of the past, being in the present. And I just, sometimes, it turns into like hate, like, fuck, like, I hated when I do that. I hated when I did that, this, and that. But all of those things, like, I mean, it took me a while, but that's like, why I was like, okay, I need to stop drinking. I need to stop doing drugs, because I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to keep embarrassing myself. I don't want to keep, that was a whole different person. I don't want to keep saying all these things to other people, trying to fight other people, starting something. So I had to forgive myself for all of that. I had to forgive drunk Liz, because all of that taught me something. It taught me that it's all okay, that it's all okay. And I'm going to forgive myself for all of that and just let it go, because that's totally not me no more. I don't want to keep thinking about it. I don't want to go, like, fucking think about some past situation and be like, fuck, like this and that, you know, like if I didn't do this wouldn't happen. But just forgive yourself and let it go. Don't regret anything, because you are who you are right now because of everything you've been through, you know? And I'm forgiving myself for me too, because I want peace. I want peace of mind. I don't want to keep living in the past. You know, I just want to let it go, and I want to grow. I want room for growth. I don't want to just hate myself or something for doing all these things. You know, I forgave myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but the main thing is you guys want to learn through that experience as well. Like, don't just forgive, you know, and it's like move on. But what are you learning from it? What are you going to do moving forward? But yeah, guys, what was I on? I think I was like on forgiving yourself. Another thing on what I learned too, that is that, okay, you do better when you know better. So forgive yourself for not knowing what you still haven't learned yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, you literally do better when you know better. You didn't know better. You didn't, you know, and like I said, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but we learn from them, you know? So that's why it's important. Chata. It's important to just forgive yourself, you know? Forgive yourself, let it go, but learn through that experience. Learn, and it's okay, you know? It's okay. And when my bad, you guys. I'm just still trying to say something. You know what? No. We're letting it go, okay? But yeah, forgiving yourself is very important, you guys. It's just growth. It's relief. But it's just always important to learn. Learn through any experience. Sit down with yourself and see what happened and learn. You know, forgiving yourself is a big step. Accountability is a huge step. You know? And forgive others too. Just let it go. You guys, it's such a huge relief. And stop expecting for an apology. Like I said, a lot of people don't like to apologize. I was there once, you know, but I take accountability for my actions, for whatever it is, good or bad. Like, you know, I take accountability. And it's great to come forward, and if you did something wrong, say you did something wrong. You know, because just like you want to take accountability for something great that you did, take accountability for something wrong that you did. You know, that's growth. That's you learning. And it's just showing others too, like, just take accountability, you know? And like, grow up. Just literally, like, grow the fuck up. And it teaches us all something, you know? Like, those that didn't love you didn't love themselves. And it's okay. You want to love somebody else? Yeah, but learn how to love yourself first. Because you cannot love somebody else if you do not love yourself first. Love is within. And if they didn't love you, that will teach you self-love. Okay, if you're going through something right now like that, they're not loving you, that's because they're not loving themselves. If they didn't love you, give yourself that love. Love yourself. That is teaching you to love yourself. That's like a sign. That's a sign. If they didn't love you, let them go. Okay, do not expect love from somebody else. Don't expect love to come, you know. Don't expect love to come at all. Love is within you. It's inside of you. Bring it out. Don't expect it. Don't think it's going to come in you. It's going to come out of you. That is a sign to love yourself, to care for yourself. You know, I'm all about self-love, and I wanted to share this with you guys because it just like opened my eyes even more on forgiveness, you know? And I never thought about it that way. I just like, I'm telling you guys, I thought, you know, forgiving others, yeah, like it's great. You know, I forgave my past. I forgave other people without an apology. And I forgave them for me, for my peace, because I was just done with all of that. I don't want to be thinking about it. I don't want to be thinking of what could have gone, what could have, you know, been. I don't want to be thinking about that. I don't want to be having all these scenarios in my head and just that energy in me. I want to let it go. I want to detach myself from all of that. I don't want to think about it at all anymore. Like, I don't care. So I'm just letting it go. I'm forgiving them and forgiving myself too. You know? And that's like, it's all a sign. You know? Just forgive them. Forgive all of that. And love yourself, you know? And like with that quote that I saw, I was like, wow. Like I have to share it with you guys because I've just been thinking about it, you know? And I hope you guys think about it too. Like, forgive those that didn't love you because they taught you self-love, you know? There was times when I was like, you know, like they didn't love me, like, you know, whatever, like this and that. But that's because I needed to love myself. I needed to give myself all that love and know that I don't need to be with somebody else to love me. I don't need to have friends to love me. I am my own fucking best friend. And I am the love of my life. And I love myself. I have myself. I'm not expecting love from others. I'm not expecting love to come to me. Love is within me and love is within you. I am all about self-love too. And that quote, I was just like, yo, like this is it. And I have to share it with my peeps. I've never seen a quote like that before. You know, I've never seen it in that context like that, you know? And I just had to share it with you guys. Have you guys heard it like that? Like I haven't, you know, I never saw it like that. I never saw it that way. And hopefully it gets you guys thinking too, you know, and just forgiving yourself and forgive others, just letting it all go. Let it all go. It's time for growth. It's time to love yourself. It's time to take care of yourself. And that's taking care of yourself and that's loving yourself. Just forgiving, you know? So, yeah, my peeps, forgive yourself and forgive others, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you are watching this, subscribe to my channel. Comment down below any other topics you guys want me to talk about, but also comment down below your thoughts. You know, comment down below, how was it to forgive yourself? Was it easy? It's not easy, you guys. It's not easy. It takes a while, but it feels good, you know. You might have to forgive one situation at a time. Not everything. You don't want to do that either. Overdo it for yourself. And just forgiving yourself as well, you know, because you didn't know better. And forgive others because they didn't know better either, you know. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys soon. Speak good vibes to others and speak good vibes to yourself. Peace, my peeps.